Hey, uh, so I have decided that I am bored, and since some new Splatoon 3 news has come out, I have decided to, yeah, hold on. So I have decided to play some Splatoon 3. I have my chat open, so I will be able to read and respond to your responses. So that is cool. Let's start the show. So, some new specials have come to Splatoon 3, or I guess a new special and an old one as well. Uh, there is the Kraken and the Super Chump. So, at first I thought Super Chump would be pretty good, because, like, it's this whole, like, relatively large area, and a bunch of one-hit KO bombs show up, and it, like, forces the enemy to reposition or else get killed, right? Well, upon looking at the video and some stuff more closely, they can be shot down, so that destroys that. They don't kill in one hit. It takes multiple explosions to kill, but they're tightly packed enough that they can do that. And also, it is a deployable, so I think it's going to need some buffs to really, like, be saved. And also, because I'm indecisive and because I need to, like, choose a main or something, I am going to be spinning the wheel to choose my weapon. And Tri-Slosher is my first thing. So, I got the freshness, well, exactly the amount for freshness on the Tri-Slosher. And that is because I needed it to get every weapon, which I have now done. Every weapon that is currently in Splatoon 3 at the time of recording this video, I have obtained. So, that's not bad. I'm gonna need to use Tri-Slosher. I'm not the biggest fan of Tri-Slosher. Like, it's a 2-hit kill, but it's, like, so much worse than it was back in Splatoon 2. Which, honestly, it was really good in Splatoon 2. It had an amazing kit. It killed super quickly. It had a good amount of range. And I mean, it's not that, like, it's bad or anything now. It's just that I'd prefer to use, I guess, just a different weapon. I'm not the biggest fan of Tri-Slosher, but I do like Toxic Mist. It's, like, a fun thing to use to really, like, just, never mind, I guess I am not playing Splatoon. Or at least I'm not playing online. Because the internet is awful here. Cool, good for you. So, time for, yeah. Good job. Okay. I'm gonna do some table turf battles, because I should probably do those. Oh, whoops. Wrong one. I'm getting 3 wins on everything except level 3. I'm just unlocking level 3 for everyone. So, Judd. I am a fan of this guy. He's a great dude. And Yogles has made a deck for me a while ago. I probably showed it off on stream. Also, as you may have seen on my card there, I got the golden thing, you know, for Splatfests. Alright, started off with a power clam near the base. Not the best spot to block me off. I'm going to use Marigold over here, which, yeah, I was expecting something like that might happen. Okay, good. I got Jet Squelcher, which means he'll either start going over here, which will be blocked at a point. Okay, good. So, he's been blocked off. Now, I can use Flutter for a good amount of points here. I'll block the rest of it with... Okay, still not bad. He got, like, no room off of that he didn't already have. And then Griller. That doesn't leave me much room for other stuff. Do I have a better option? I mean, I could go Hydra, but I think this is just going to be better in the long run. Alright then. And now, maybe... Okay, so... Theoretically, I could sneak in to that base with this, and then use, like, long lines. And that is almost a perfect spot for a power climb. But yeah, in any case. I should probably fill in my own base, but I'm not sure the most efficient way to do that. This is pretty good, I think. Plus, it gives me a pretty easy opportunity to get special points in the form of... Actually, not with that. But with this and other small things. Okay, that card wasn't just a tower as a thing. That was the whole tower control. Jeez. I did not realize that was a card. Alright, what's next? If I do this, then... Not sure what the best move is to do right now. I guess this. Although I'm not sure I have anything that can complete it for a special thing. So I'm going to have to pull off some... Actually, there. He keeps passing. Oh, I just gave him a special point, which isn't great. But it's not abysmal. I can work with this. That is almost perfect for a stinger. But yeah, and any off in the last turns. So, right now, it doesn't matter how many points I get. I've got enough points. I need special. I need special charge. So how can I get a lot of special charge from here? Without passing, obviously. I could probably do something funky with this stinger, but actually, looking at it, I don't think I really can. Because this is just too far. Where can I fit this? This is... Oh, here. So this doesn't give me a special point. Oh, specialing turn 3 before. Interesting. Okay, I got 2 free special points off of this. Awesome. I mean, so does he. But I have 4 and he only has 3. And I'm also in the lead. I'm going to power climb. Awesome. Right where I wanted. Alright. Second total game against Judd, and second win in a row, with exactly 100. Alright. Well, not second win with exactly 100, but second win, nonetheless. So, one more battle. Yeah, if I'm not going to be playing Splatoon in this stream, except Table Turf Battles, I should probably, like, choose a different game. There was one that I was going to play earlier on some, like, justice-related day or something, because it was Ace Attorney, and I have not played that yet, because the stream was not working for whatever reason with that. Okay, right off the bat, I am kind of struggling. This is not the best starting hand, but it's not awful. This isn't like poker, so I can't bluff my way to winning. Even if it were poker, I'm not good at bluffing. My mind games are not very mind gamey. So I've blocked off that whole area for him. Problem, he's in my base. But that's okay, because I am a genius, and yeah, that's... I don't know what to say, other than the fact that I'm probably going to win at this point. Oh, he gave me a free special point. How kind of him. Thank you, Judd. What a generous man. Alright. I should probably... Yeah, let's do this. Take over as much as I can from this little area here. Oh! Actually, I'll save that for the special at the end. Okay, and now, if I do this, I can get a special point from this, and then I'll use the block to get a special point off of the other thing. Or that works. That also will work. I wonder if I can fit this anywhere in my base. Probably not, actually, but that's not bad. It's not abysmal, which means it's pretty good. Alright, I can use a flutter over here and then fill out some remaining pieces with the square. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Except, wait. If I place this there, then... Okay, yeah, this works. And in the next 2 turns, I'll be getting like 2 or 3 special points from that. If my envisioning is correct, which it's not, but that is alright, because at least I get 1. Because by putting this card here, I get 2 special points off of this, which I believe is enough for Shiver. Yeah, that is. Alright, good. I'll just get some of his territory with Splatoon Wiper. I'll do it here. Alright, he ink brushes. But that does nothing. Or, I mean, technically something. But nothing big. And now I can do this. And he passes. Oh, never mind, he tries sloshers. But that's basically passing because I still win. Alright. So this game is about taking control at the start. And then once that's done... try to get special points. Especially by using big things combined with smaller, like, things to fill in the gaps. Okay. So I do have Little Judd technically unlocked, and I'll be able to... I'm not sure what I was thinking there. But yeah, I'll check the stores, and then I'll switch games. Alright, so... Oh, right, I forgot about that. Okay. Hold, please, while I, yeah. I'm currently preparing some stuff. So... Alright. I will be back in like a minute. Maybe less than that. It's weird. Can't find it. It's definitely here. Is that it? I think so. Yes, that is. Okay. Found it. Now, so there you go. Now that that is settled, here it is. Oh, I didn't realize this game has DLC. Wonder what it does. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. And now to start, Great Ace Attorney Adventures, Great Ace Attorney 2. Okay, I will do this one, because that's the start. And the start is the best place to start a story.
The Empire of Japan, after opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation, broke great waves of Western influence in this far eastern island nation.
The history section ends pretty quick. This is just a bit of, like, setting the scene.
It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
Some literally on the boats there. Everyone walks in,
But for one man, the turbulence of that era,
and it is our character who is holding a gun, and someone was shot, presumably with the gun, by him, but I don't know. Alright, the adventure of the Great Departure. Supreme Court. Alright. So, wait, did we shoot him in the courtroom? Wait, what's history do? Still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. What's history? Oh, that's just the previous things. Options? Oh, save and load. Story mode off. Story mode is off. I need to progress automatically. Accolades? Okay, well, anyway. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber... Hold on, where's the options? Gameplay. Vibration on screen, flashes on, subtitles on, text skip off, text box transparency low. Oh, I see. Yeah, low. Wait time. What does this do? Adjust the length of time until the next line of text. Oh, restore defaults. Okay. Use fix voices? Story mode off. Okay. Wait, is that? Okay, that's just load, not more options. Is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate. Wow. And we meet this dude, Bailiff. What? Oh, nothing. Savior glares. Jeez. Bailiff has already decided the outcome of the case. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo, which means Ryunosuke I see, but I see in sort of like a main character-ish sort of way. I'm a second-year student at Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, somehow found himself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here he is, awaiting his trial. Okay, can you explain what that incident is? That's enough. He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. Were we saying that out loud? Was he just narrating to himself, like monologuing out loud? And the bailiff's just like, who are you? Oh, he's his lawyer. He looks vaguely like Edgeworth, so I assume that's his, you know, the thing. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. Yeah, that is true. So you'll... Oh, he has a sword. I mean, it is old Japan, but, like, not that old, right? It looks like this dude's uniform is pretty modern and stuff. What do you mean technicalities? Not graduate... No better than... I mean, yes, that's true, but at the same time, if you haven't graduated from law school, why are you allowed to take a case in the highest court in all of Japan? Edgeworth, dude. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. I need... Ellipses. Why is he... That is a good question. Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't... He is being super vague. Kazuma, okay, that's his name. Ha 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 ha. There you go again apologizing. Just like always. So they seem to know each other from long, long ago. All over the newspapers the past few days. Yuma University professor murdered in cold blood by student. Are they legally allowed to do that? The court case didn't, like... The court case hasn't happened. Of course not, you have to believe me, I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Well, I think there's kind of a lot to worry about, because, as we've already went over, this is the highest court in all of Japan. Second of all, well, it really looks like he did do the murder, which doesn't matter in terms of, like, being guilty, but it matters in terms of him, like, how the court sees it. Okay, you mean, I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Okay, cool, thanks, Kazuma. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yuma University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's still an undergrad. It's not that impressive. So he has been saying it out loud. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old here in Japan. Oh, I see. Qualifications don't mean much yet. He said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. So he's monologuing out loud? Okay. Kazuma, my best friend, also in his second year at Yuma University, but he's far more clever than I, a star student. In fact, he's even a qualified lawyer, impressive considering he's still an undergrad. So that's not a monologue. He's saying that out loud. Wait, is monologue out loud and then soliloquy the one that's in your head? So it is a monologue rather than a soliloquy, I guess. But he's saying that out loud? Why would he, like, talk about the only dude that's there in the third person to him? Like, if I were to, like... That's been happening since the beginning. I think Ryunosuke is kind of a psychopath. I do think he did the murder. If he talks like that. 3 days ago. Ellipses. Yes, that's when all this started. All this is orange. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world? I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system, that's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire? Okay. Oh wait. Her Majesty said he wanted. So he's going with him. Or I guess not. Better be going. Alright, see you later. Stay and enjoy this. Okay, so it started 3 days ago, but that's just when they're talking about it. It would have had to have started before then, unless he's talking about, like, this is the day he shot his professor or whatever. See you in English class tomorrow. It's weird that we've only seen Ryunosuke, like, once. And yeah, it was straight after that, that's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Is this... Oh, she faded away. Professor, I didn't know you were... Isn't he dead? Did we not kill our professor? Or he's just another professor, I guess. Well, this case has personal significance, but never mind that for now, Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chamber. Jeez, that is very formal. I mean, I guess it is the highest court in this place. Advocating for defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. Maybe because he is called Professor, meaning he's a professor at the university that Kazuma knows. I shall accompany you. Is that Maya or something? Like Maya's ancestor? Alright, Ryunosuke, I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. So we still don't know her name. Okay. This is awkward. It doesn't have to be. You can, like, converse with him. If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruto, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikotova. I'm a professor of forensic medicine. Oh, okay. Professor Mikitova. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma's studying abroad. Oh, cool. How nice of him. Anyway, so Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. Which is why he said that out loud to him. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that that permission will be revoked and never granted again. I feel like there are larger problems to him being, accused and, proven guilty of murder at the highest court. But I guess, yeah, it kind of sucks that his friend won't be able to, go to Britain. But, what? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. Does it not just make sense? Is that not your immediate first assumption? I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. So either he's super confident, or he's just doing it for a friend. Because he, I don't understand why would the government do such a thing. The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. Very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. Okay. Well, why don't you? This is the only thing that makes sense, Ryunosuke. But I didn't do it, I swear it. I'm not a murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. Mikitova seems to get it. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry? What do you mean? You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. Okay. Defense spelled with a C, meaning this is in British English. I do, but what will the question be? Surely not, do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant. Oh. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Okay. Well, I mean, let's see more. Surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. I don't know why I can't talk anymore. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyways. Jeez, that bailiff is a jerk. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty. Okay, good that he just now is starting to understand that maybe being found guilty of murder is kind of a bigger deal than your friend not being able to go to Britain. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. Is he saying this out loud, like the other stuff? Because, you can hear us. Okay. But yeah, is he saying that stuff out loud? He has not said a single thing in his head so far before this. But yeah, unforgettable trial. My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. Yes, that's correct. But what do we do? Because, I assume Naruhodo is who we're playing as, because it's in, his first person. But, And this is all about him. So this is a courtroom. Have you never seen a courtroom before, Ryunosuke? I get that it's, early, but... Okay, Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I'd much like to look at those people sitting in the public gallery. So does the Supreme Court of Japan work, similar to the Supreme Court of the U.S.? Because from what I'm aware, the Supreme Court of the U.S. doesn't really, it decides stuff, but I assume not, in a trial. Although I don't know that much about that. Anyway, I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? First of all, why? It's all over the news. They've already decided that he's guilty in the news, like every major media source. Also, why does it seem like his hair is so much grayer than it was in the flashback? That was 3 days ago. Anyway, a trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, we need to concentrate. But why not now? Like, why do we need to wait for it to become clear? Like, oh, never mind, I see now. And that is Big Judge Man. Judge, the court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. Ouchie is his name. Ouchie? Is that one of the, like, pun names? Like the name Sawit for one of the people in the earlier games? As is the defense. And I like how Ryunosuke is visibly just, like, super on edge. Before we begin, there's one point of order I'd like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I'm obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? Oh... Wait, he's gonna need to defend himself if he says that? And then, like, the other dude is... If the other dude says, I do first, then he'll defend him. But he said specifically, you need to, like, answer it first. What was it? He must not be the defense. Okay. Yeah, okay. You must answer before anyone else. Say, I do. You must not let him be the defense lawyer. So he's going to defend himself. So the professor, I think, is banking on us. Like, I guess whether we win or lose doesn't matter. All that matters is Adachi not defending us. Okay, so who's going to defend me? But then if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? If you wait and see, it'll be risky. But I want to play the game, so I'm going to answer I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense. Okay. Yes. What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... What? And there's sort of commotion. What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikitoba told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. I don't know how Ryunosuke didn't realize this before that, but even so. How sad. If it means you don't have faith, it means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off. No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... ... Several more ellipses. Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel. Which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikitoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Honestly, that's pretty true. Like, he trusted you with, like... You trusted him with a secret and he betrayed that. Mikitoba seems kind of like a bad dude. Wait, is he gonna be the murderer? That is a possibility. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really? Okay, one thing about this dude, his future descendant's last name is Payne, and this dude's last name is Ouchie. I don't know why I find that funny, but yeah. Object. Oh, make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. That is a good thing to say. Kazuma might not be a bad, like, lawyer. And even calling him like son, formally. Yeah, okay. He is saying everything right. Ryunosuke, on the other hand, is not doing so well. Yes, exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Please don't tell me you're saying that out loud like you have with every other, like, monologue you've had. Like, if you're saying exactly what I wasn't thinking. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. If he's saying that out loud like every other thing that he was not supposed to be saying out loud, then he's kind of screwed, isn't he? Whatever. Anyway, I realize you're in charge now, but still. Also, welcome to chat person, who I now noticed has entered. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. I don't know if he's supposed to be, like, reminding the people there, because clearly everyone knows because of what he said and what everyone else this whole time has said, or maybe he's just reminding the viewer. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to, like... Okay, Ryunosuke is how I'm pronouncing his first name. But Naruhodo sounds kind of weird because I'm saying it without the accent. But then Naruhodo also sounds weird because I'm saying it with the accent. But yeah, in any case. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I... Yunosuke, we get it. You're not confident in your ability to defend yourself, but you don't need to say it over and over in your head. Okay, let's start with the very simplest of questions. Oh, yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous. I can't even remember that. Dude. Ryunosuke. I mean, I see why you're not confident, but, like, if you don't even know the name of the dude that you presumably killed, like, maybe this isn't a great idea for you to be defending yourself. Also, maybe Cosmo can, like, whisper it in his ear. Let me guess, your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. Also, the fact that he's, like, slouching over, his spine is making a 90-degree angle. Also, all the relevant information can be found in the court record, but I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of R. Okay, so Naruhodo's just gonna pick up his controller and press R. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there. I just have to press R for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with R. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. Kazuma Soga, 23 years old, second year at the Imperial Yume Universities. He's my best... Okay, so this is from his perspective. Despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well, medical school, professor, Imperial Yume University, authority in forensic medicine, Kazuma's mentor, lead prosecutor, Takatsuchi Aochi, who would appear to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought. And then John H. Wilson. The victim of this case, he was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. Okay, John H. Wilson is his name. So, remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. And now, the court record button will be at the bottom of the screen this whole time. Now you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record. Then press X to present. Try it now. Oh, X to present. Yes. The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. I don't even know how that's supposed to be pronounced. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England and invited to Yume University there 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally, and doing this has definitely caused some anger among the British. As most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Post-mortem report: death occurred a little after 2 p.m. was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. Bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Okay. Proof that I'm a student at the Imperial University. Always wear the collar of uniform jacket. Okay. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the... Yeah, friendship and navigation. Man, I love the friendship law. Valentine's Day has recently passed. So I guess this makes this more relevant than before. I don't know. Oh yeah, also, no, that's not related, because America hadn't been, like, made yet, basically, at this time. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been split on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? Okay, what he's doing is pretty smart. He's, like, trying to, like, not coerce, but, like, make Naruhodo defend himself and say, like, well, I have honor. Murdering him wasn't, like, a thing that means I don't have honor. To try to, like, I guess make him say that he murdered him on accident. But I didn't do it. Okay, good that he has, like, the fact in his head. The case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court, therefore, wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. I don't think it's just because he's a scapegoat. He literally held the gun and stood there for like a few seconds. But yeah, so that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it? Okay, I get what that means now. But yeah, in any case. Exactly, our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Yes, that's what he just said, he's an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. That's true, you gotta, like, prove yourself either way. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime, holding the gun, which shot the bullet. Oh dear, look at the time, I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then. Partner, they are already speaking English, what do you mean? Unless they're like... I mean, I get this takes place in Japan and it's just translating their Japanese that they're speaking. Which is why their names are all Japanese, except for, like, Wilson, dude. Yeah, John H. Wilson. But... yeah, the British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. And then he cuts himself off with ellipses. Wait. Oh, there he is. I've seen that man at university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. Why? Actually, why? Legitimately, why? So I went over to the professor's table and shot him in the chest with the gun, causing him to bleed to death shortly after 2 o'clock. Introduce myself to Dr. Wilson. Then he bangs on the thing with his gavel. Now let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death. Well, obviously that was, it is in the record. It is literally right here. Wait. There, yeah, it's right here. Bullet did not pass through his body. All that stuff. Examine. Time of death, 19th November, shortly after 2 p.m. John H. Wilson, male British. Cause of death, single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. So that means the bullet entered the body. It didn't go through. It went in, like, his chest, his pectoral area, and it opened a wound, which was fatal, which makes sense because the heart is there. And yeah. So, Ryunosuke, remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? There is literally his death report. Right here. Right in front of you. And select present. I think that my university collar pin is the correct evidence. Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. And he is already shaking. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it? I don't think that ad hominem is allowed in actual court. Ad hominem, for those who don't know, is like a personal insult. But yeah, sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. That does not seem very good. Should we get an autopsy? I feel like we should probably get like a formal autopsy for like accuracy's sake, but whatever. So-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Okay, so photographs, A, were invented, B, can be taken quickly enough for that to have been taken. But then everything in this game seems so like from feudal times. But yeah, anyway, scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion, which means it's close range. It was point blank, which I assume the victim was shot at close range. Yes, that's what it says in the post-mortem report. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. The photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. He was eating a steak. Looks like behind that is like wine or champagne or something. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Yes, it is a photo. Okay, so I guess photos have been really recently invented. But if that's the case, it should have taken like an hour to have taken that picture. I mean, you would have been staying still, but like, wasn't it like taken shortly after the? Well, I guess they never said that. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Very well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. What was that little hand move? So without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikitova? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... ellipses. Well, I can still act as your assistant. Oh, good. Like, I thought so, but then, like, that's why I was able to tell him about the court record. But why not just also, like, tell him his name? That's, like, the easiest thing you can do here. But anyway, cool, we got the photograph of the victim. Alright, so his cup was empty, his fork does not seem to be dirty, and the steak is full, so he was, like, just about to start eating. Whoa, magnifying glass. Okay. So, it doesn't look like blood got on his shirt. It's just the gunpowder and then the wound. I guess it was all internal bleeding and no external bleeding? That's weird. Anyway, he was wearing the jacket like that, so the impacts didn't, like, displace the jacket. I see. And for whatever reason, there is a little slot here for a button to go through and no button. Maybe that's just a design thing on the jacket. It doesn't matter. Anyway, empty cup with something that would normally fill the cup. Then there's uneaten steak and an unused fork, meaning he has not eaten yet. I'm not sure if that'll be useful, but maybe. It's good to know everything you can. Of course, when he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Oh, I see. So being a bad assistant won't get him off, but being a bad defense lawyer is what will kick him out. Has he really been sticking his oar in? He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would really be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of advice is, rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Only if you rein in the crazy headband and control the cold stares first. It's not that crazy. It's just that the fact that... Okay, It is flowing behind him, and this is a courtroom. We are indoors. I don't, like, whatever. So, here is this dude, the waiter, a witness. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival. Western as in, like, Italy? Or, like, France? Spain? Oh, has some internal bleeding going on there. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some, Just wipe that off on your hand, not on the clean white towel. It's a regular occurrence, it doesn't really bother me. Well, it really, really should. Honestly, that's probably true. He needs to be taken to a doctor. As everyone knows, well, I guess they don't use doctors in Japan. That's like a new British thing. Like how the whole court system is a new British thing. And what we really have instead is having a police officer come and take a look at him, and if it's anything external, the police just gives him a band-aid. Anyway, as everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim scene occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery, 3 days ago. Is the word restaurant new? I mean, I guess it is, because it is borrowed from the English language in actual Japanese, and it's spelled out in katakana for what that means. In any case. Understood, Hosonaga-san. Will you kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident? Or you will, not will you. And yes, that is good. At once, sir. No petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? So he doesn't want to be a lawyer, it seems. But he is sweating, which I could already see, but thank you for asserting that. It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have a few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. Ahem, ahem. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockery and cutlery. So he didn't see it happen. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student. Yes, hold on, let me just clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him. I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. That is true. I'll side with the prosecutor here. Ryunosuke, please kindly shut up. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But, no buts. The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. Ugh. If I may confirm one point, waiter, standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today. Cough. Yes, without question. I see. Or, as you would say in Japanese, naruhodo. Or as you would say, in this game, Ryunosuke naruhodo. Okay. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. So I was about to suggest, okay, maybe it was from a long range. But also, why would there be a gun on the floor? And also, it was clearly close range because of the picture. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table? There were like 3 tables, but that doesn't necessarily mean there was anyone particularly near. That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello. Oh, so that lady is the murderer? There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Obviously, wait and see. Interjecting is not good. the first thing that I should mention. So, woman sitting beside him. So, there was no one else around that table. Yes, but his memory was clearly from when he was alive. Maybe the woman shot him slyly, dropped the gun, and then ran away. What he's saying could be true, but he simply didn't see the woman because she left. And if she did, that means she is likely the murderer because she would have fled the scene, which she would have no reason to do. But yeah, I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? Before, like, taking a 5-hour break to, like, play chess or whatever they played at the time. Because the first time he, like, blatantly ignored that. Wow. You really listen to instructions after immediately interjecting upon receiving the instruction. I suppose I am. I'd never have gotten into Yume University otherwise. I guess that is true. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. But you have to follow the rules in court, though. Seriously regret. When you're found guilty, Kazuma, you have no faith in me. Even less than you assume that we had in you. If you don't say what you want to say right now, I seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just going to shut my eyes and say it. Yes, not objection. Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it, there was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Objection. Dear me. What are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. If you're not a fraud? Wait. Disregard. Well, I don't understand what you mean. Could it be the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after... Is that even a point of contention? Obviously he's not a real lawyer. The real lawyer here is Kazuma. Kazuma is like the clearly real lawyer. And Ryunosuke, who is still a student and by no means was claimed to be a lawyer, is not a lawyer. I wonder if you're not a fraud. Maybe this person who's never claimed to be a lawyer, nor shown prowess of being a lawyer, nor any intent to be a lawyer, maybe is not a lawyer. I wonder. But I'm sure of what I saw. That is true. He would say that as a witness, but like... Also, Naga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy. No. And what he's saying is probably true. He probably doesn't remember her being there because she left after he was shot. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. Ahem. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. I would like to see that plan. Okay, so clearly that plan is not accurate because there was only the one dude there, especially the establishment's layout run by yourself, I presume. But he wasn't alone. As was previously mentioned, there were like 3 people there. So if there were only 3 people, then why is the sketch like that, showing only the one person? That's right, I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. I don't know what the Japanese means on the side of that card, but I don't think I will need to. Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. True, it's inaccurate, so clearly he'd be, like, reluctant to give it. Of course, here you are. What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Unless he's the murderer, but I don't think that's true. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. Okay. So no blood is coming out when he coughs 1,000,000 times, but when he coughs just the once, it comes out. That's weird. Anyway, court record. Let's look at this evidence. Kitchen and entrance. Okay. Oh, I see. This is supposed to be a square, but it's poorly drawn. Because iriguchi, which is the word for entrance, is this kanji. He drew it, like, kind of weird. This is just supposed to be, like, a square, basically. So he just has bad handwriting. So we can't flip it over. This is the kitchen. There were doors. So he wasn't looking that way at the time, it seems. But this is one that would be visible from certain parts of the kitchen. This is the only place where it was marked. this is marked with an X, which doesn't necessarily mean this is the only occupied seat, but it does mean that this is the only seat that someone was murdered in, and so it doesn't necessarily mean that that's wrong. I will keep this in mind, though. Alright, back. The court has heard a precis of the case. Yes, at the moment, the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. Is he going to do cross-examination? If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. That's a lie. That is a dirty lie. There is no way that can be true. If you admit that you're guilty, then, well, you won't be punished as much. Admitting that you're guilty of murder, I don't think you're legally allowed to give a lighter sentence due to just admitting it. That just makes the court go easier and everyone, likes it better. Although it is true that they would see you more fondly, but the judge is the one that decides the term. Anyway, in other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. It is very evitable. It is super evitable. I'm going to evit it, as soon as I can. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court, but I must warn the defense if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. Cross-examination. The prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. This is good music. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Not necessarily. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? No. First-degree murder is not exactly, whatever. Anyway, about these peculiarities, you said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. It can't be worse than admitting guilt then and there, and being executed or whatever they would do at the time. Anyway, as I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? Okay, Kazuma, we're on trial for murder. We are under so much stress, and you're guilt-tripping the defendant, your best friend. Come on, Kazuma. What if the accused is in fact innocent? Then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Unless they just plead guilty, which he has the power to say, which he has the power to do. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? He doesn't have the duty. He's not a lawyer, as was previously mentioned a million times. Are you going to give up on yourself? I don't think he should give up on himself, but even so. The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Yes, it has. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Good. Then we'll see how decisive this evidence really is. Good. And they're all murmuring and stuff. Bonk. Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie, please continue with proceedings. Wait. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Let's just confirm that. 51. He's not young, but he's not really old. He's not old enough to say, oh, I am old, I have experience. The young are so foolish. These dudes are in the prime of their education. Dude, it has been so long since you learned law, or it must have. I guess since law is new, he had it somewhat recently, but not as recently as current law students. Anyway, the lead prosecutor's case would appear to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about. He doesn't like the new cultures. Therefore, we can put him to trial for being a racist. I don't think that's true, but I half wish it was because I don't like this guy. And that would technically be true, but I don't think it's legal, or I don't think it's illegal in Japan for that, actually. At least not at the time. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Multiple at the same time. Do I not get to cross-examine the last dude? Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Why can't I cross-examine that dude? I need to cross-examine him. Yes, sir. The great Nippon Imperial Army surgeon. Iesa Nosa, reporting for duty, sir. Also, Nippon is just what Japan calls itself, I think. Or at least it's Japan as an adjective. Like the Japan Imperial Army's Sergeant Iesa Nosa. I don't know why he was there, but yeah. Myself, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasutei, a humble premises in the second district. Kyuryo Korekuta, at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Astute observation, Judge. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. Which means that this diagram, with just the one person, is inaccurate. So, they must be the diners at the other table the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question. Always post-noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. This dude talks so, like, fancy. That sounds really stupid of me to say, but yeah. Anyway, new people in this. Satoru Kosonaga, head waiter at European-style restaurant Le Carnaval. He was serving on the day of the incident. An army surgeon of the Empire of Japan who witnessed the incident. The owner of Rasute, an antique shop situated on a street corner in the second district. He's a witness to the accident. Okay. I can't understand a word that old man is saying. You're telling me, dude. Maybe you can have Kazuma, like, translate. Antique dealer, regular at Le Carnaval. I thought Le Carnaval was new. Whatever. Anyway, he seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets Le Carnaval because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. No, you have both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. Okay, enemy unit. The defense. There was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearms, sir. I don't like the way he speaks. That's worse than the old dude. This man says it's impossible to understand his... Exactly! We need, like, a translator. I know they're both speaking Japanese, and this is a Japanese court of law, but we still need a translator. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. A strange... How is that relevant? Who unloaded his firearm? Is he's, like, saying that that's, like, not accurate? I don't know what Ryunosuke's implying. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. Okay, well... The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Did he not make that clear with his 500 million lines of dialogue? Like, wow, I'm not very confident. He doesn't seem very confident. Yes, that's true. I don't seem very confident because I am very uncomfortable, and not confident. Uncomfortable from the start. That is very clear. Anyway, the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by ready to report, sir. Unsavory memories of the most acerbic afternoon. Witness testimony. Okay. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. Why does everything he say have to be some sort of like... Okay, I'm not going to say anything because it's Yuto, who unloaded his firearm, who, like, what was it? The firearm was discharged. We don't need just a translator. We need him to talk in a way that's not just a bunch of, like, innuendos. Anyway, observe the enemy's actions with my own eyes. Black uniform varsity cadet fired on the English civilian. Could you stop? Whatever. Anyway, I'm moving on from that. I am better than this. I am not going to notice it if you don't. Anyway, and from the back, the cowardly little fired on the English civilian, and from the back. So I fired on him from our back or from his back. Well, it couldn't be from our back because we'd be firing the opposite direction, and it wasn't from his back because there was no exit wound. It was a point-blank wound. Yeah, okay. It was not from the back, actually. We have evidence that that's not true. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio, so someone stole his golden thing. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. I now see the noise that he was talking about before. It's like a baby crying or something. Why does he have a knife? Why does the old man have a knife? I don't... Is he allowed to have that? I mean, I guess the other dude has a sword. But yeah, what times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day? But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor. Why? Okay. So why is Cosmo starting to doubt us? After I'd said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant, when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang. Oh, so that's a different gun. That's not even the gun used in the murder. Well, if that's the truth, there's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. So if we extract the bullet from the gun's body compared to the bullets in the gun that was dropped, unless they're the same kind of gun, somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies is a clue as to who that criminal was. There it is. Ryunosuke must exercise your right to cross-examine the witness. I can't believe he didn't do that to the first dude, but yeah, cross-examine. Do it now. As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. I wish he'd just say the prosecution rests and just stop talking. It's time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Judge, we have not made our case yet. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this... What? We haven't sent out any witnesses or anything. Also, why does he say yes instead of, like, objection, or hold it, or that's it, or whatever they say? What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination. Good. Dear me, let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Dude, taking advice is not a bad thing to do. You could do with some advice that I am giving you and never talk again. Close your mouth and please do not reopen it. Huh? How did he know? It is. So, prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination? Good objection. The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. True. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. True. Gulp. Good. Cosmo is so commanding. Good. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Alright, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to cross-examine the witness. No, you have to expose the lies in the witness's statements. You didn't fire the gun, which means that what the soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. The key to doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you. He just said, okay, prove them wrong by using evidence and finding where they lied. That's what have we not been trying to do that since the very beginning? Is that not literally the whole point of a trial? And of cross-examination, more specifically? Does Ryunosuke know anything about law? Cross-examination. What the witnesses saw. Hold on a sec, let me check the court record real quick. So I don't have information on Ryunosuke. That kind of sucks. Well, I mean, I guess we can... wait, right. They said that he was like a second year at Yume, same age as Kazumi, or Kazuma, Asogi, which means he is also like 23. How does he not know anything? I mean, I guess law is a new practice, but even so. Wow. Anyway, what the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the gentleman. At that precise moment, the firearm was discharged. I observed the black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back. Okay. From here. So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was... That's not what I'm pressing him on. Arg, I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in a black uniform? Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description. You're not gonna throw him under the bus, dude. It was you, you little weasel. You unloaded the firearm on that man. From behind his back. There we go. From behind his back. You disgust me. Can I present evidence? No, not yet. But anyway. You disgust me. What is it, Ryunosuke? I'm not quite sure. What do you mean? It is in the court record. It is literally right here. Something's playing on his mind. The fact that he wasn't shot from the back. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. I have done that like 50 times since the trial has started, and I have found an inconsistency. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. I told myself I would not make any of those jokes. But yeah, anyway, involving the curio. The black uniformed for the fire of the English civilian. From the back. Photograph of the victim. Also, wait, should I do photograph that shows that? Or post-mortem report? Okay, this is a tough choice, because if I present the post-mortem report that says the bullet did not pass through the victim's body, then it's the same amount of information as this shot in the chest and subsequently died. Okay. I guess I'll show this, because it shows that it is close range. Present. Yes, this is the one. Okay. And now, present. Ellipses. 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 What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache? Inconsistency, sir. True. I mean, yes. There is a clear inconsistency here. Tusk, what nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? We do already know it, but he blatantly lied about something we already know. Well, obviously that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come. Are you kidding me, dude? I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency. I have 5 more chances, dude. Did you see those little, like, things? There is no place for an amateur student in this grand courtroom. Arg, this is so frustrating. You are telling me, dude. Oh, please. I am so glad we have Kazuma backing this up. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. That's true. You can clearly see that the bullet went in through his front, not the back. Kazuma what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Iesanosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. Oh, wait, I just got the pun in his name. Iesa Nosa. Yes, sir. No, sir. Okay, I get it. From the back, the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir. What's his full name again? Yes, sir. Right.
Yes!
Yes, sir. But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because he was shot in the front, not the back. Because, take a closer look at that snout. Okay, take a close look at this print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to the witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. I mean, he's not under oath, so I don't know what the punishment is here. Well, and that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, his baby! Well, that's what was making the noise. What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there is a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Ellipses. Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Yes, you lied. You're a lying, cheating weasel. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court has heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. True. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. True. Kjarg. Inconsistency, Seer, awarded. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. That's true. But man, is it so satisfying to see Kazuma just, I don't know why, but it's, It's like hearing a really good song. So this is what being an Ace Attorney, this is what being the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles 1 is all about. Okay, roll credits. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. True! And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. He didn't. Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? He was looking for his curio. Hunting for treasure. Treasure? Yeah, he said he dropped his golden thing. Indeed. The Hoei-era koban, my prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, Rasute, in the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoei treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find, I did not. But I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more, it simply vanished. The koban vanished? Hunting around under the table I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. Gunshot. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. What... In what world are you just like looking on the floor like, dang it, I dropped my coin, it's so valuable. Oh, what's this? There's a gunshot and someone was murdered, like right next to me? I don't care, I need to find that coin. Okay, I was only concerned with finding my absconded Hoei treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day. The precious... Oh my... He doesn't think the day is bad because Professor Wilson, or whatever his name is, Professor Wilson was killed. But because he lost his precious coin? Dude. The first one's a liar, the other dude's just a bad person. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. And Nosa had ellipses, meaning it's probably him. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this afternoon? Why did no one inform us of this? Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. That's true. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie? Haha. Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. Well, wolves are less dangerous, and I have a gun, it seems. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed this despicable crime, except for either of them, the woman, the waiter, or the other people at the restaurant at the time. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh, so he's a witness. Okay. That makes sense. He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Ugh. Okay. Very well. The court invites the witness to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency. Is that as clear as normal glass? Or clear? I don't know. Whatever. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. How has no one noticed that? Affirmative, the newest member of the Nosa family tries up through the ranks, sir. Aww. Name Aido. Aido Nosa. Oh, I get it. Okay. Aido Nosa. I don't know, sir. Okay, that's funny. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Oh, I see. That's why he stole a coin. Aido. Tension. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Witness testimony. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man, he was. That young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I will be taking a break in the stream right now. So, thank you all for tuning in. And I will see you shortly in no more than like 40 minutes, I assume. And anyway, thank you